Jay LaRock, percent off collector, and we're here with another What's in the Box. And even though this thing says combination mecha, that's not actually what it is. Well, I guess it is because this is a knockoff. We're gonna be looking at this knockoff, but get a little preview of what it looks like. Now, I was trying to go after the Seacons because I watched the basics with Chris McFeely, and I was like, these look cool. And these are the only ones that I can find at a reasonable price. So we're going to put this together and see if it lives up to the hype. Let's go check it out. Let's head to the whiteboard. Quickly before we begin, I know all the YouTubers say it, but we're trying to reach 500 subscriptions. So if you like this video, please consider giving us a like, comment, sub, and hit that notification button because we're doing videos every single week. At least 2, most of the time 3. Thanks a lot. Alright, we're back at the photo booth and we're gonna take a look at this thing here that I got from AliExpress. And if anyone is not familiar with AliExpress, they basically sell a mixture of knockoffs. There's also legit stuff that you can buy. I like them better than Temu just because their packaging is better, their prices are better, it seems less scummy. If you check out the reviews for places and try to get places that's been around for a while, I've never had any actual problems except like one toy that came, well, no, it wasn't even the toy that came broken, it was the box, and they refunded the entire order and let me keep the item. So I always say any place like AliExpress or Temu, be careful, but I personally didn't have any problems. Now I was watching Transformers the Basics just because I love that that YouTube channel with Chris McFeely, right? I am saying his name correctly. If I'm not, let me know. And I like just learning about Transformers that I know about and about ones that I don't. And they did an episode about like the Piranacons, which I did not know was a thing. I believe that these were out in Japan only. Now this is a knockoff, so I'm not sure how close this is to the real thing. It didn't really matter to me because I knew, what I was buying. I knew what I was getting. I just really wanted to try it out and, just see how it looked. And the other crazy thing about this thing was only $12.99. And, it's like lighter plastic, you can see there. I mean, it's not terrible, but I knew this going in. And the review said it was pretty nice. It's not a huge combiner, but for me, it's something that I never had before. And I think they also call it some of these Seacons. But I've seen both. I've seen like the Piranacons, Seacons. Let me know if you know exactly what it's supposed to be. But I was like, hey, for 13 bucks, I'll give it a shot. And these are all inspired like G1 types. So it's, it's not going to be anything crazy as far as the transformation itself. Basically, I just wanted to have another combiner because I actually have collected all the G1 knockoff combiners. I think Piranacon was the last one that I needed, and I finally got that. So we got to have a video coming up on that soon enough. But I got all the other one, the Aerobots, the Constructicons, the Stunticons, so Protectobots, all of that. So this was one where I was like, okay, let's take a look at these. So basically all these have 2 modes. So you can see here, basically they have like their animal mode. So you have like a fish, I think one like a squid, snapping turtle. I forgot what this one was. I think it's shark or something like that. And I forgot what the last 2 were. This one looks weird. But you can see here, I mean, kind of looks like a crawfish, right? Like this seriously looks like a crawfish to me. But as I said, you could see, it's like, plastics, nothing crazy or anything like that. Made in China, all that, no big deal. But all these are like pretty simple to transform, but since there's so many of them, I'll just put it in the robot modes and then show you that off camera because I don't want this to take too long. But you can see like a tentacle guy, I mean, look at that face. And I know from watching the video that these are pretty good looking for that. And I knew it was going to be simple because, like I said, it's based off of G1. So these are simple. But, I mean, the plastic does not feel bad. If you watch my channel, you hear me talk about, like, cheap plastic versus strong plastic. Like, I know even some dollar stores, they've gotten better at the plastics, but this doesn't feel like super cheap. Like, obviously it's light, you know, it's not like a lot of the plastic that you'd see on higher end stuff, but honestly there's some transformers, like I would compare it closer to like the Authentics, which is not bad because it's not like it's like so cheap that you feel like it's just gonna fall apart any second. So for me, that was an important part. I don't mind for the price that I paid that it's not like super detailed. I'm not getting any masterpiece here. But my whole thing was I don't want it to just break while I'm putting it together. And does it look cool? I mean, like here, like even the little silver here is nice. Like the paint that they did on this, the teeth, all that. You know, simple G1 style, but I appreciate that. And then this one as well. This one is the one that looks the weirdest. And it's kind of weird to me because like they all are like in different modes of transformation. Like I guess he's kind of like that. This supposed to be like a manta ray, maybe a manta ray. And it also has some stickers here as well so that you know which one is which is cool. That's the only sticker came with. And this is the head, so that once you form, I guess, Piranacon or Seacons or whatever his name is, then you're able to put the head on. And then you have his trident fork, which actually is pretty cool. Not a bad design, actually. And then you have, like, the feet. Like, I was like, uh-oh, they'll tell you there's not only one feet. So both feet. Then another weapon. Not bad, you know, simple. I like the fact that you got the movement here. Another weapon. Then on the chest, you know, that's kind of like the design you've seen on a lot of the chests. And then another blaster. Alright, so let me start out by getting these in their proper animal alternate modes, and we'll go through them. Alright, and we're back. So here's how all of these look in their beast alternate modes. And I have to say it's pretty cool. I tried to do the stickers as best I can. I actually messed up with this one. I mean, don't laugh at me. I was once like you. But they're pretty cool. Moving them around, like I said, simple transformations. But it looks like they built it in a way where, like, even if like a part can come off like that, but it's not a break. And I appreciate that because, like, even if something is not super high quality, if it's something where it's like it can remove, but it fits in, like it's not like it's super wobbly. Like when you move it around, it's actually pretty decent. And as I said, this wasn't even, I think maybe AliExpress had a mini sale, but I don't think that this was more than $15 even regular price. So, you know, again, it's one of those things where I knew what I was getting. I wasn't expecting like something super high end. I just want something to match what I saw when I first learned about these guys. So we'll just go through them real quick here. So I like the turtle here. And another thing, I did kind of jump ahead. Now these guns were already on this character. But a lot of these others, the guns actually broke apart. And that's another thing I give them props for. A lot of times when you buy something, especially if it's like Chinese or something like that, anything where you have to break or something, you worry about it breaking incorrectly and then not fitting. So basically all of these weapons broke apart so that they could fit on each person in their respective modes. And when I broke them apart, they all broke clean and they all fit well. So like, you know, again, I talk about having the decent fit where it's not wobbly once you put it where it's supposed to be. And just, you know, you can see here how it mounts for each one, like two under the chin here, one on top, another one on the chin. This one is just the ones that's already built in for the turtle. This guy has the ones on his shoulders, and this one also has one on his back. So very cool. And like I said, each of them has a sticker so you can identify which one they are. Simple design, but I like it. And I like the crazy like 90s color scheme of this. Like something like this, I like the crazy colors because it's like these are like fish monsters, and it's like it's already, you know, fantastic. So it's like to throw that in doesn't bother me. So here's again, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like a stingray. So you can see here like where part of where you when you transform where other things go. But I even like the teeth on here. See, these guns split apart. You can see, if you look here, you can see where they had little grooves. And again, clean break, no issues. And when you put them in, nice and tough. So I already, before even combining it, so far I'm giving it a recommendation, especially for the price point. If you just want to have something cool and crazy, especially, I'm going to put the link to the Transformers The Basic episode where I learned about these and why I wanted to get this knockoff, so that you can see it and maybe you end up being a fan too. I'll also put a link so that you can find the AliExpress for this. And that store that I'll link to, I have bought before, so I haven't any problem. But I do always recommend, if possible, just because it's easier, get a card, use a credit card that you know has good customer service. I use Amex when I buy anything like overseas, really almost anything online, because their chargeback policy is second to none. If something goes wrong, you do a chargeback and you win 99% of the time. Unless you're trying to scam or something, then don't do that because you'll get busted and you deserve what you get. But if you're legit, they're gonna back you up, especially if it's overseas. So here you can see again, I just love how it goes. I mean, once you have these in, there's not much that you can do. Like the mouths open, you know, I mean, you can kind of move that, but that's more of the transformation. I mean, you can see like you can't really do anything with the tail. Like almost any movement is going to be for the transformation besides the mouth, but that's fine. I mean, look at any G1, you're pretty much the same. I mean, articulation, you're not going to get much poses. Like you can move most of the legs and stuff, and we'll see a little bit more in the robot mode. Like this guy, you can move his tentacles. You can see up here, this is where you mount his gun. So I just think it's crazy that when they're in their fish modes, and I kind of like that this guy is one of the only ones where his sticker is in the back, so you can't see it when he's in monster mode, where all the other ones you can see it. It almost kind of like a fish Voltron. That's pretty cool. So there you have them in all of their beast fish modes. And now let's take a look at what they look like in their robot modes. Alright, so here they are in their robot modes, and as I said, it's not that the transformations are difficult, it's more that it's 6 of them, and I still in a mixture between being cautious when transforming and the fact that this one I have to look at it myself because there isn't another video out there that has these. And I know I shouldn't need it, but I do, and it took me a little bit, but as I said, pretty easy. A lot of the transformations is really like any other G1s that you see. You know, you like bend down the snout or something like that, you turn around the arm and then it becomes a leg, or you rotate like a claw and then you get the hand piece. And then you have like these, like, you know, the generic heads that you'll see on some of those G1 combiners, because it basically just plugs in with from the head and stuff like that. And then, you know, the other plugs for different weapons and things. So again, very basic, you know, the transformations aren't going to be crazy. I never expected them to be. But it's still pretty cool. And all the weapons fit. And like I said, the joints feel good. And what's interesting is some of these parts come off. Like, so when you're doing a transformation with the turtle, like you take this off, and then with the crab, you remove those. So show you each one. Basically same thing. One of these things where it's like just hidden in the tail. Most of this you just pull down and then bend it down, and that's the legs. You know, very basic, nothing crazy. Same here. It's one of the things where it's like, it's the legs, so it's like you kind of see them, like, see, there's A and then B. So very simple. You know, it does stand, but you're not gonna, I mean, obviously you're not gonna get much articulations, just like moving the arms. And then you got that stationary head. Same thing here. You know, you could play around with something like that. You know, want to make a little bit wider base or something. But tiny arms, tiny head, just this little sit base. Like, you're not getting that much else. Then another one, basically same thing. It's like head hides in there, and then it's out. Then same thing with here. You can see the mouth. So the mouth and the hands basically give you that base so that you can stand things up. But as I said, not bad at all. And then of course the big boy, the leader, I like the fact that his weapon is actually to hold the, I guess, trident. And I love that his guns do remain. These like bend like back and out of the way, so you don't see them as much. And then just like a lot of the G1 combiners, they get that like bow-legged stance for it, because it's like if it's just straight down, it's not as easy to do. And as I said, the joints and everything are really tight. Like nothing here fell off or broke while I was transforming it, and doesn't feel loose or wobbly. It's like, you know, really good as far as the transformation goes. So now we've seen it all in their transform, in their beast modes, in the robot modes. Now let's take a look at what they look like combined, because you know that's what we came here for. Right, and here he is as, I think it's Sea King, I think that's his name. But I mean, look at that. There is a lot going on in there. And I love that 6 is on the back. You know, he's just hanging on the back like, yeah, we got this. And he's got the little turret in here. So again, like a lot of the G1s, a lot of the connections are basically like a little bit of modification once they're in robot mode. Like literally pulling down a head or turning the thing in on the side, the little the head pieces, it just bends down and then it plugs in to each side pretty well. And the same thing with the feet. Like you know, the feet give you a nice wide base, those plug in well. I mean, there's a lot going on with it, but you can see up on top, same thing. It's just basically on the edges right there where it plugs into the side, and then on the back there's holes where it plugs in as well. So the thing is they make it pretty simple to put it together. And you know, even the way the sword is held is like a little peg now, and then a little peg here. So it's basically just, you can configure a lot of the weapons how you want to. I actually put the, I guess, the little legs here backwards just because I thought that looked better to have them pointing out. You can remove these from those hinges there. So I have to say, it was really good putting it together. Again, didn't have any problems. I didn't feel like anything was going to break. Like, you know, any G1, the movements aren't going to be crazy. But I mean, look, I mean, you have decent range of motion. And at least right now, it feels like it's sitting in the joint pretty well. So, and then I was, you know, able to recombine the gun again without any problem. So I really like that it wasn't hard doing that. So one thing you'll notice is this is smaller than the other one. So I got my little tape measure here. So this thing's about 8 inches from base. Yeah, you know, like 7 to 8 inches. I mean, with the gun and everything on the top, you get closer to 8, but it's about 7 inches. So just to give you an example of scale, so this is how it is when it's just sitting down without the turntable, so you can see. So again, I'll do the measurements here just so you have an idea. So you see 8 inches if you go all the way to the top of the gun. So here's another knockoff combiner, so you can see that that one is bigger. And you know, it tells you exactly how big it is when you order it. You know, usually it tells you in centimeters, but if you're like me and you can't just immediately do the conversion in your head, they do help you out on you know, how much it is in inches. So you can see, so this one's about 1 inch taller, and just overall it's a little bit bigger. But you can even see like the way the connections are, it's pretty much the same. It's just that, you know, this one is, I think, is a little bit more of a knockoff than this one. This one really was trying to copy the G1, so that was really going for that. So I just have to say that overall, I'm pleased. I like the size, and again, like I said, I paid $13 for this. So it's not like this is something that costs a lot of money. Let me see if I can see. I think, yeah, I think altogether, even with tax, I paid $15.10, and that's with shipping. So right now, if you went on, it's showing for $17.58. And there's little ways that you can get that down a little bit. But actually that they have free shipping right now, so it'd just be the tax and all that. And I think that if you go to sign up, you might get like $1 off or something, so it gets it down to like 16, and then you probably can throw some coins on there, get it down to maybe like 16, 20 something. So I mean, really, basically 16, 17 bucks with tax to get this this figure that is just crazy. And when I saw the picture, I was just like, okay, as long as it's not breaking apart, falling apart, I am totally cool with the way this looks. It looks sweet, it looks crazy, it looks 90s, and I'm happy. And I hope that you are happy with me geeking out over this awesome stuff, because I have a lot of fun. I can't wait to open up my last one, Piranacon. So make sure that you're going to be here for that. Hey, thanks for checking out the channel. And if you like what you've seen, please consider giving us a like, comment, a sub, all that stuff. It really helps the algorithm as we try to make a push to reach out to more collectors that, like me, like to get that discount. Because you know how I say, no discount, no deal. All right, catch you later.